Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we'll be going over the 10 best Metroid weapons and power-ups. For this list, we'll be examining the most powerful, useful, and iconic offensive and utility upgrades and features used by Samus Aran in the Metroid franchise. If there's an upgrade that our list could be upgraded by including, please tell us in the comments.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Missiles. One of the staples of Samus's arsenal, missiles are some of the most useful weapons in the Metroid series. Although fired out of her arm cannon like her various beam weapons, missiles have a limited ammo capacity that must be replenished. However, they make up for this downside by being more powerful than her regular blaster fire. Their capacity can be upgraded though, and hunting down missile expansions is a frequently satisfying experience in any game in the franchise. Missiles are useful for many situations, whether it's dealing rapid damage to an enemy or boss, or just opening special doors or obstacles. Grapple Beam. Samus' suit is full of great additions, and not all of them are purely offensive. The Grapple Beam does exactly as it says, and allows Samus to latch onto obstacles and occasional enemies to swing like a grappling hook. Locking on to special points on ceilings and swinging like Tarzan adds a different kind of movement to Samus' standard method of getting around, and makes getting over hazards much easier. Also, as any gamer will tell you, swinging from a grapple of any kind automatically makes the game cooler, and Samus' version is especially awesome. Speed Booster.
The most efficient way through here should be delivering shoulder impacts with your speed booster, so I'm authorizing its use.
Samus is a nimble gal, but she's still not particularly fast, at least until she gets the speed booster. With this power-up, Samus is able to dash at incredible speeds. Her velocity in this state is such that she can plow directly through certain environmental features as well as weaker enemies. The speed booster is also handy for solving puzzles and traversing ground that disappears beneath you. It's also great just for running around. It certainly makes backtracking through the massive maps much quicker. While it's primarily a feature of 2D Metroid titles, there are a few 3D entries that have featured it too. Plasma Beam. The Plasma Beam is essentially two weapons in one. In most games in the series, it functions as a thin beam that can hit multiple enemies in a row at once. This makes it ideal for taking on large groups of foes. In the Metroid Prime games, however, the Plasma Beam acts as a fire-based beam, having a short range but delivering a powerful burst of flames that does high damage and can melt ice and other materials. Regardless of which version you're using, the Plasma Beam is just a powerful weapon. Space Jump. Mobility is key in Metroid games, and few power-ups make you more mobile than the Space Jump. After acquiring this upgrade, Samus can jump again after making a spin jump, and then again, and again. In fact, she essentially gets infinite jumps with this upgrade. It makes crossing large gaps or ascending huge cliffs a breeze. She could probably jump all the way to space if she wanted, hence the name. And once she gets a certain other upgrade, the space jump can also be a deadly weapon, but more on that soon. Phazon Beam. The Metroid Prime games have some recurring elements not present in other Metroid games. One of these is Phazon, a mutagenic substance Phazon is corrupting but grants incredible power to Samus, as well as other creatures. Strictly speaking, the true Phazon Beam is in the original Metroid Prime, but each game in the series features Samus attaining the ability to utilize Phazon in her weapons systems. Each type works differently, with Prime allowing for continuous fire as long as you're standing in a pool of Phazon, and Prime 3 drains your energy tanks in exchange for being in Hyper Mode. Regardless, they're easily the most powerful beams in their respective games. Annihilator Beam. Using both the light and dark ammo present in Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, the Annihilator Beam has a high rate of fire and homes in on nearby targets. This makes it great against large groups of enemies, as well as for dodging tough enemies and still being able to hit them. Charging it up stuns foes or creates an area effect with a missile combo. It's also slightly sonic, so it's useful for sound-based puzzles. Although only present in one game, the Annihilator Beam is cool enough that it deserves a comeback. Morph Ball. One of the first upgrades Samus ever gets is also one of her most famous. The Morph Ball is a form in which Samus compresses her suit into a sphere, allowing her to roll around, fit in tight spaces, drop bombs, and dodge attacks. It also has plenty of power-ups on its own that increase its ability to maneuver and access other types of terrain, like the Spider Ball that lets you travel along walls. The Morph Ball is as iconic a part of Samus' suit as her arm cannon or helmet. And speaking of Samus' suit, Varia Suit. Samus Aran dons many different power suits in her adventures, but easily the most iconic one is the Varia Suit. Sometimes known as the Barrier Suit, this suit usually features large, circular shoulder pods and an orange color scheme, although some versions are other colors and lack the shoulder features. The Varia Suit's primary advantages are that it reduces the damage that Samus takes, both in general and often from extreme heat, allowing her access to areas with open lava pits that are otherwise too hot to handle. Samus looks pretty hot herself in these digs, but we can handle it. Screw Attack. The Screw Attack creates an energy barrier around Samus when she jumps in the air. This essentially turns her into a spinning buzzsaw of death that can jump straight through many enemies. It makes for incredibly satisfying gameplay to just tank your way through enemies that once gave you pause, particularly annoying flying foes. Although the Screw Attack hasn't appeared in every Metroid game, the logo for the franchise is the Screw Attack power-up. It even inspired a gaming website. That shows how integral this power-up is to the Metroid series, as well as its fans.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, there's more where that came from.